no trauma should define you. Trauma could be something positive. Learn from your trauma. Learn from your mistakes. I was 11 when my father passed away, all right? And really, that loss, like, shattered my world. I remember feeling so lost, like, a piece of me had been taken. I was only 11. Like, I didn't know what death was. Like, how will you know if you don't fail? Sometimes we need to fail in order to grow. It was one of those afternoons wherein my brother was just like yelling. He had that one of really bad heart asthma attack, and he was just saying, take me to the hospital, take me to the hospital. Pain is real, and we all have to face it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And we all have, but healing is also real. Okay, pain is real, but healing is also real. No matter whatever way you find it. You found it through your spirituality. Some people will find it through counseling. You know what I mean? Because everybody is different. And, it's something we must actively choose. And I literally saw my brother turn gray. He died in my arms.
Oh,
and
Candice.
He was my brother was just like so spiritual, so God-fearing, God-loving. I knew he was at peace. You know the words he uttered, Jen? I love you, God. He screamed before he lost his breath. It's men like you who are learning to be vulnerable that will really have a voice and make an impact in this world. And who can truly help you heal is you.
That's true.
You need to allow yourself to grieve, to mourn. But you also need to decide when it's time to turn that grief or pain into healing.
Yes.
My husband passed away 2023, and like when he passed away, I kind of lost myself during our marriage, and at the same time, the grief of like, oh my goodness, I'm alone now. So I literally went on a self-care journey when I literally just didn't like myself anymore. Don't think of it as my life is almost over. Think of it as it's just the beginning of my life. And that's exactly how I'm living my life right now. I'm a changed person. Jen. But the longer you put yourself into that pattern, the harder it is to move on because it becomes part. Now, I never really thought that me being a speaker would allow me to be a podcast host. And now I'm meeting incredible people like you from all over the world, like me, who just started this journey, 7 months ago, who was afraid of like kind of speaking up. Now, like, I really found my strength in speaking, just limiting beliefs because they're men, because they can't do this, because this is what's expected of them. But I mean, don't wait for years before you can finally find yourself. You know what I mean? My brother was passed away while I was literally teaching a class, and something tragic. I never got to spend time with my brother, and I had to like wipe the tears, go back to my class, finish the class, and then environment plays a big role. You can totally change a person's DNA or the way their genes are gonna become because of how the environment, the love, the people that surrounds you, education, like where you need to show your authenticity, who you are in whatever you do, because that's gonna make it more personal for others. It will start when you admit to yourself that I don't want to be here. I want myself to be better. I started to now realize nothing's permanent. Over time, I realized that healing starts when you allow yourself to be seen and heard now. So, the creativity of a person, how? Be you. Be genuinely you, right? Present yourself through art, like what you said, music, arts and crafts, singing, cooking, but show your uniqueness. And sometimes, how are you going to move forward when you don't know what you're trying to fix in your life? So that's the important thing about finding your commands. That's how I got from what you're saying. You really have to, like, if you have to go deep, look back in your childhood and find out what really made me who I am right now. Right? Like, why am I like this? Why am I so, like, why do I have limiting beliefs? Why am I so scared? Why am I ashamed of who are really making you feel this? I think it made your emotional and I guess your spiritual, emotional, mental well-being so strong, and like you healed, because I feel like find those commands, and when you're finally able to say that it's this one, then you can find ways to navigate around it or totally remove it from your moment that you turned your back on those feelings of being scared or anxious and tense because you finally said no to that one thing. I'm a new speaker, right? I've been in a field like you. I'm a teacher. I've been in the field of education for 30 years. I was supposed to be an assistant principal. I have my admin degree. I own schools in the Philippines, but I left. When you're at the point wherein you are physically well, it really has an impact on your mental and emotional well-being, and that probably opened your gifts in your lineage. You're changing the generational curses in your life. You're changing it when you actually admitted to yourself that, hey kids, like, I'm sorry I messed you up, but then you're willing to change. You're actually starting a new lineage for them, which is love, acceptance, and that healing. And people just show up now unapologetically you. Ooh. You know what? I have so many imperfections. Like, I show up every day, videos, quotes, talking, and like everybody has their gifts. It's just a matter of, really opening up to what you're capable of. And I feel like we all have our gifts, right? It could be mine's creativity when it comes to like what I do, and yours is that gift of like intuition and stuff like that. And I'm just glad you finally were able to get to a point that you are now embracing your gift, your power, and not only to use for yourself, but you're actually helping other people. First of all, I have an accent. I'm from the Philippines, so you can never remove my accent, right? But to be a speaker, I'm just glad that people accept me for who I am, despite of my accent, despite of some grammatical error, or like, that is one way for anyone to accept who they are when they finally know that, hey, I'm not perfect, but I know that I'm making a difference. Yeah. Remember that life begins at 50? Oh, that is so true for me. I love myself. I don't think I have anything ugly in me because I know I have accepted who I am. And, like, I was different a year ago. And I look at myself now, like, people know me, like, picking it up. We're changing this healing into empowerment. Yes. We're not just empowering ourselves, but we're empowering others. That's right? That despite our emptiness, not all childhood trauma leads to destruction. Sometimes it's the very fuel that helps you rise. That pain can mold you into someone with deep empathy, purpose, and strength. Fuels me, like all these things that happen to me, one on top of the other, it just fuels me to just show up every day. In my heart, I have a bigger purpose to change someone or a lot of people.